This is Gabriel Niobudai Togba Sean. I'm coming your way from the University of Ghana campus here in Accra, specifically located within much awaited, much anticipated, and much talked about facility, the University of Ghana Medical Center. It has finally been open to the public, of course, for people to be able to walk in and then have access to treatment. And I'm saying walk in with much care because it is not a facility that anyone at all with some form of illness could walk in and then receive care. It is a referral facility. But I don't want to talk that much. I have with me here my colleague, Derek Adote. He's joining me on set now. We are going to take a very brief tour of the facility. Thereafter, we shall hear from the key officials who just opened the facility to tell us. But welcome, Derek.
Thank you, Gabriel.
I've been here with you. We've inspected the facility earlier, but we want to still do it again for viewers to appreciate exactly what we are talking about. What's your impression?
It has been great so far. It has been great so far. Looking at the place, very, very, very much packed with all the necessary facility, all the necessary equipments that will be needed. And I think it will go a long way to help Ghana. I think looking at this place, I'm proud to be a Ghanaian because you have these things here. We wouldn't have to be going outside to seek for medical attention in some few years to come. That is the anticipation, because this place is to help.
The interesting bit is that it's not just a matter of us not going out, but the intention is to make this place or make it serve for medical tourism, to have people come from other countries to receive treatment right here.
Yes,
or to even learn.
Yes, and as well-trained specialists.
Exactly.
Specialists. And so we are looking at a possibility where in some few years to come, we would have our own specialists in certain medical areas that we don't have. And I think this facility will go a long way to help in training some of these doctors for us as Ghanaians. And it will be a great thing to have them in our country. All
right. So, bro, just hold on a bit. Let's move on and then inspect the facility so you appreciate exactly what we are talking about. There are a number of facilities right here. Currently, we are at the outpatient department. And Derek is joining me to do this. Within this facility, you have the urology. You also have the billing office. You have a number of other departments. I can see the inscription right there, cardiology and other places. So just come along to inspect the facility. So we are just entering one of the rooms right here. This place would be for admission. So patients who come in or who are referred here are most likely to be admitted to one of these rooms. Beds are carefully positioned and some other equipment in place. Derek, what's up?
You can see the place is well equipped. You can see there's an AC right here. There's a lot of tools here that will be used by the patients who come in here to help easy up their struggles. When someone is ill, you can see he can communicate outside as well. So these things are here to help. And the way the place is equipped, I'm delighted. It's going to go a long way to help.
Right. So we are done with this point. Let's walk out and then check out a few other offices and rooms right here. I can see the billing office. We also have, yes, a number of billing offices lined up right here. But I can see cast here. I'm wondering what exactly happens here. And then exam room looks quite different. So that's the exam room for you. With some other equipment right there. So we have the experts here and also the officials, government officials right here with us. Let's hear from them about how this facility will be maintained and some of the things that are expected to be done now that it is opened.
The first day of operation of this facility, but in a way it's like an outdooring or a baptism, because this facility is not completely new, but it's still a baby and it's work in progress. So before I make a few remarks, let me take this opportunity to pay tribute and to salute those who came up with the concept of this center and all those who have been part of it and who have made it possible for us to be where we are today. I am tempted to mention names, but I will resist the temptation because I'm getting old. And when you get to my age, you tend to forget names. And I may forget some names and create enemies out of my friends. And I already have enough enemies. I also want to acknowledge the team that has been working the last few weeks feverishly to ensure that we are able to reboot the facility. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the media for your understanding, for your support. Partly because of your effort, many people know about this center, and we are hoping you will help us educate the Ghanaian public about what this center is about, but also to make sure that we provide the type of services that are needed. Let me make a few remarks about this center. This is not your ordinary hospital. In fact, this is meant to be the highest referral center in the country. So the teaching hospitals are even expected to refer cases to this facility. So it is important that this facility is not swamped or inundated with conditions that can be managed in other facilities. And we will need your help to educate the general public about this, because it will take away from the core business of this facility. And the core business of this facility is to train health professionals to the highest level. But of course, in order to train health professionals, you need patients. And in order to attract patients, you need to offer some services. So this facility offers a range or a basket of services, maybe 7 or 8 different baskets of services. The first basket of services is a series of what we call specialist clinics, where you can come and see a specialist, but you have to be referred to the different conditions. So that is one basket of services. These will be provided on outpatient basis. You come here, and this is going to be in this building. There is an appointment system where you come and see the specialist and you go home. But we also have here little theaters to do simple operations, which doesn't require that you stay here overnight. You come in the morning, the procedure is done, and you go back. So that is one basket of services that this facility will provide. Specialist consultations. The second basket is we have the most modern laboratory services here. All type of laboratory investigations can be done. We don't have to send samples to South Africa, to India, to the UK. They can all be done here. We also have imaging services where not just X-ray, but the different scans can be done here. And the laboratory and the imaging services is meant not just to service patients to this facility, but patients that are referred from all parts of the country and from different facilities. So we have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, diagnostic center here. We also have up to 12 modern theaters where different operations can be done, operations that doesn't require that you are open up, but small incisions and using different telescopes. The surgeon can identify which organ and to manage or treat that particular ailment. We have 12 of such theaters, 9 is complete. But we also have here the Women and Children's Building, where we have facilities to take care of pregnant women from the time they are pregnant to when they deliver, to look after the newborn children, but also children in general. So to some extent, those of you who are familiar with Kolebu, it's a combination of the children's block and the maternity block here. We have also facilities to establish cardiothoracic center, similar to what you have in Kolebu, but also a neurosurgery, brain surgery center, and a center to deal with kidneys, dialysis, and kidney transplant. So we have all these services available. But we also have on this campus special VIP wards to take care of people who can pay good money. And we're expecting to attract patients not just from Ghana, but also outside Ghana. And that will require that we provide excellent hotel services. So there are arrangements for water supply 24/7. This is not a facility where we expect that water will not flow. This is a facility where we expect that we'll have electricity 24 hours, every day. This is a facility where we expect that the lift will not break down, and if it breaks down, it's repaired immediately. We don't have to wait for weeks before it's repaired. So a lot of work has gone into establishing what I call the hotel services to ensure that they are not interrupted. We have a very modern laundry system here, a kitchen system, a kitchen to take care of catering for patients. And as you see, we have an environment which is very serene and not in the middle of town where you'll be disturbed by traffic or loud gospel music. We also have, we're putting in place very secure security system. But the second phase of this project will also ensure that this hospital is a lot more accessible than it is now. As you know, at the moment, it's not as easily accessible as it should be. Like any big facility, we have a system to treat emergencies, but this is not meant to be an emergency center, but we have a facility to take care of emergency. And it may interest you to know we have a few ambulances here to help us do that. So we have all these services to offer, but from today, we are not opening up all these services. We're going to start small and build up over time. The reasons are, one, that is the normal practice. In a very sophisticated facility like this, you need to build up things so that you can test your systems. But two, we've just installed some of the equipment, and even though they are working, they've not been tested on patients. So we need to make sure that we don't expose or subject too many patients at the same time to things that may create problems that we may not be able to address. So we're going to do it a little at a time. But thirdly, we don't have all the complement, and in some cases, we don't have the critical mass of health professionals and the specialists that we need, and we've not finalized the arrangement to ensure that the few specialists around are able to provide services here. So that is why we're going to open the facility, the services I mentioned about stage by stage. And the first stage is start with the specialist consultation, which is known as the outpatient services. Even that, we're going to start small with a few clinics, and over time, the 10 or 12 clinics will come on stream. Dr. Osei will elaborate a bit. I just want to leave with one message. Consistently, we've been advised by different people, please don't make this like Kolebu. So we are very keen that we establish a different culture, a culture that makes this place patient-friendly, that the patient comes first, a culture which is patient-centered, and where health workers have the right attitude and the right motivation to provide the highest level of services. But in order to make sure this doesn't become a kolebu, it doesn't just depend on health workers. It is important that we have the right people at the top. It's important that we establish the right management. The biggest problem with the health sector is not just money, it's also with management and leadership. So we want to establish that here. But we also need your support, because it's not just the health authorities and the health workers, it's also the general public and how they help support this. It's important that the management system for procurement, for selection of staff, adopts transparent practices. And it's important that we change our mindset to health. And this is really my own song, because a country where we spend more money on funerals and giving people befitting burials rather than a befitting health system has a problem. And we are hoping that we will be able to address those concerns. I personally have no doubt that with the right management, this center will not only contribute to improving health in Ghana, but will also set the standard for our sub-region and for even our continent.
About specialists, it's true that we don't have too many. But if you look at the setup here, it said that we're not going to have a system where people come to work at 8 and all close at 5. We're going to have a well-structured timetable where these rooms will be occupied by consultants, maybe from 8 to 2, 2 to 8, and so on. If we don't get all the permanent staff here, we have a lot of consultants, mostly in Accra. There is a plan also to engage the very good ones on part-time basis. That is what we call locum, so that we can make good use of all the excellent practitioners. Even also, we are looking at putting adverts in the papers to attract Ghanaians from the diaspora who are ready to come. I think we did it at my former place. We had a lot of people joining us from other countries. So the whole process should also not rush us to pick anybody anyhow, where we will not be efficient. So we will be very careful with the process. Again, we are not reinventing the recruitment process. I think in the past, some recruitment interviews and other things have been done. And we are calling all these doctors from within the recommended persons who have passed the interview. And from last week, they have been coming, and some of them are ready to work. We are also very careful not to deplete the other sectors. We have financial clearance for about 800. So it doesn't make sense to me to get people in the government sector who already have the financial clearance. I should be able to make use of my financial clearance, getting people who are not in employment or people who actually are working in the private who are good enough to join us, so that at least I can judiciously use my financial clearance without necessarily transferring people from Ghana Health Service who already have had some clearance in terms of payment. So the process will be done very carefully, and then we'll make sure that we don't rush ourselves in doing the wrong things.
For the next 2 weeks, it's going to be used by the public, and everything is going to be like the hospital that has been existing for this while, and then things will change. So let's see how best it's going to be handled.
It's supposed to be a training facility for specialists. So it is going to train our medical officers to become specialists in various fields within the health profession. Like we've said earlier, it is not a walk-in facility. It is a referral facility, which means that you can only come here if you have been referred from another hospital to see a particular specialist. It's open from today. The outpatients department is open from today, and the arrangements have been made. Consultants are going to be here, and they are going to be the one who will receive patients that have been referred from other facilities. Over the period from now to the end of the year, various departments within the hospital will kickstart operation as and when the component of staffing and equipment testing are done. And then also in the next 18 months, you know that a loan of $50 million has been approved by Parliament to complete phase 2 of the project, and that will also kickstart in coming months. So in 2 years on the whole, this entire facility would have been completed and serving the Ghanaian public as well as people from the sub-region.
Right, so my name is Gabriel Niobudai Togba Sean, and I've done this with
Derek Adote.
Bye-bye for now.